Oh, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right, so it's a beautiful day.
Yes, it is.
Warming up, getting ready to come into springtime here in the land. I know some of you are in places where it's still winter and it'll still be winter for a longer season. This is why the calendar is set. Excuse me. This is why the calendar is set for in the land, you know.
Yes.
So now I'm sitting down with my sister here and we were discussing. So one of the laws of circumcising your heart, to engrave the law upon it, right, is the re-listening and re-reviewing the classes. And she's been like going back over because what we talk here, we actually have to do as well, right? So whereas I myself am not going back over classes, I am still reviewing and going over the law throughout the day, meditating on it and rereading it, restudying it, reevaluating where I am today, what I'm dealing with today, right?
Yes.
And so she's going back over and she's re-listening. Now, I'm going to make a confession to you. I am not revealing everything in the classes. There is some stuff I'm just not saying. There's some stuff I'm just breezing over and letting it be.
Yes.
There's some stuff that you'll hear it now and it doesn't sound correct. And then you'll hear it later and understand why I said it incorrectly, because there's another piece that fits to it.
Yes.
So your first listening, if you heard one class one time, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't know nothing. Right? Because the stuff that I am not connecting, that I am not inserting, the stuff that I'm not weaving in, right? It is imperative. There are junction points.
Yes.
And so I'm not putting it in. And this goes to show you, if you didn't notice, right? And I know you didn't notice because nobody in the comments can say anything. I see the views. The views are going up. It means you're sharing. It means, people are beginning to discuss. Somebody out there is probably copying my material and acting like it's their material, which is great.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Take the material, copy it. You can say you made it up. The beautiful part of it is you'll be gathering your people to you under the same teaching. And eventually, you will recognize that you have to leave.
Yes. Yes.
And the teaching that you fed the people will leave the people thirsty to come where you got the information from. You will be thirsty for it yourself.
Yes.
So teach it. Teach it as if it's yours. That's fine. Because right now, you are on the breast. The nation is just being birthed. Right? 7 years of laying the foundation, going through both right and wrong steps. Right? Because I had 7 years to filter through my own imaginations.
Right.
To come and nail down the reality. It took 7 years to get here. The nation is just being birthed.
As I was reviewing class 9 this morning, you were speaking about the first fruits
Hmm.
and about how we are to bring the first fruits, and how, the first 3 years, all the fruit falls to the ground so it can nourish the soil and everything. Then in the fourth year, how that fruit goes to the priest, and I look at where we started then and where we are now, with you sharing with others about coming and being a part of the community, and even seeing the vision being fine tuned, because my heart desire is to support in building. And, in that class, you were talking about us buying the land, about the time it's going to take for us to grow the food and stuff, in order to get into the supermarket. And then where you are now, where you're speaking of, okay, let's buy land that already has the trees, the olive trees and things of that nature. And we can go ahead and be harvesting and making our own oils and being able to bring in our own food. So being able to see the vision become more and more clear, and the difference of what we're doing here compared to what we're going to do when we're in the land. Because when we go in the land, everything's going to be kind of like desolate, destroyed. So we're going to have to wait those 4 years. So it's like putting the pieces together from the very beginning and the growth of the vision now, it's very interesting to see and to know that I do get to be a part of this, and this have become like the frontlet, before me, us doing this and accomplishing this.
And that's fantastic. That's the purpose. This is why the instruction actually says for you to listen and to go back over classes, right? If I say we're going to buy land and the land have no trees on it,
Yeah.
and then we have to plant trees. Now we have to obey the law to wait the 4 years for the trees before we can harvest the fruit, which delays us 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then the instruction says, don't buy that land
Right.
for trees. If you need to have olive trees and grapevines, and buy the land with it already on it.
Right. Yes.
This is the instruction. This way you can immediately go to market.
Yes.
And don't just go to market and try to sell it to the stores.
No.
No. Open your own store and immediately take it to market. From your store, you can then distribute to other stores, but you have to put it in your store first. Because when the customers enjoy your high quality products,
Yes.
they will ask it at their local store.
Yes.
And business can be made. You can expand from one. If you don't do it for yourself, you can't do it for anybody else. But this connection, this law that I'm implementing, is on a very advanced level.
Yeah.
This is an advanced level to implement it, I have to be on an advanced level. However, the nation right now, all of you are on a breast. The nation is just being birthed. Before you can be able to stand and to teach, you must first perform. You have to grow to where you can perform the law, you understand it, and you're able to give right counsel, right judgments. And right now, you're not in the place, right? You can't see to buy land. So right now, the entire nation, those of that's coming, the entire nation is on the breast.
Right.
right? So if you think of like a child, when a child is birthed, is nursed, right? It's being breastfed until the child gets old enough and strong enough to begin to feed itself. And even then, the food is still soft and
Right.
easily digestible. This is where the entirety of the nation is. And I don't care if you known who you was. I knew I was an Israelite for 30 years. I've been in this truth for 30 years. Your time and your development is two different things. The longer a person has been in the truth and not able to operate and function to remove the people from out of a captive state shows your level of understanding. So now you say, you didn't move nobody from captivity. Yes, I did. Right? I moved brothers from out of America into Israel, supported them. They had work, they had places to live, they weren't struggling. Well, why didn't you build everything at that time? Because I had pity. I had pity on them. What? You want to hear what you want to know what went wrong? I had pity.
Yeah.
Right? But not of my own choice. I was following an instruction. So when my teacher said, no, at this time, have pity. These are the ones that came, accept them, be good to them, and it will make the others jealous. So I had pity on them, and I accepted them, and I taught them right, and I counseled them correctly. When they didn't obey, they received the judgment for their sins. They did not receive the reward for continuing to improve and grow in the righteous acts, in the lawful instruction. You got a problem with your mouth? You don't know how to talk? You don't know how to talk? You speak disrespectfully?
Yeah, reviling the sheikh, the judge.
You start reviling sheikhs and judges and other people. You don't know where the judgment stands on how you ought to speak with your neighbors. If you can't talk right, you're going to get put out. It's happened. We've had to put brothers out the city for what they say on Facebook. Talking crazy. When you come out here, there is an already established order. It's not a free-for-all. So you come out and you get established as a part of a people. You must be established as part of a group. You must be established in an organized way and manner. You must be functioning in a self-sufficient way for it to be respected. You must be attached to each other in an organized way.
Yes.
Coming out as an individual and living in an apartment till the day you die is seen as something frowned upon. You have no people, you have no support, you are weak, you are nothing.
Yes.
So as it stands right now, I am nursing you.
Yes.
I'm reading the law straight through and letting the Lord give you your first medicines, your first strengthenings, your first understandings. But again, all of this is just the milk.
And you know, as well as listening and going over, really understanding that the judgments that are set for how we live is the law. So there's no adding to, like it says, no adding to,
no taking away from,
no taking away from. And you know, you have to be very careful, very, very careful not to align with those who chooses to not stand on the judgment
Right.
that is written.
So if you don't add to and you don't take away from, then you have to have lawful citings.
Yes, you
like
do.
in the court of law.
Yes.
You have to cite the laws.
Yeah.
Right? So if you were to look at this book in its proper way, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of these verses, chapters, and books, it's like a code.
Yes.
There's a code there. Mm-hmm. No, not no Bible code and Torah code, none of that crazy pseudo mess trying to decipher the script. That doesn't work. When I say, you know what I'm saying?
Like a code of honor.
No, it's like a police code.
Oh yeah.
Right? 187.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's a code. So when I say don't revile my brother, the verse that's found on is the code.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If it says, so be ye obedient to the word of Yah your Allah to keep all his commandments. Deuteronomy 13:9. That's Deuteronomy 13:9. That's a code.
Yes.
It's coded so that my actions, if I don't know what to do, I can ask somebody to see if they know where's the address
right
for this instruction, because I don't yet know where it's cited at. Mm-hmm. Or where the judgment sits. So when we go through and we begin to exercise judgment, then after going through the whole thing, you'll see us begin to cite the decisions, the actions, and how the law begins to be unfolded, because it's folded together. So now we're reading it straight through.
Yes.
It's going to take you time till you get so strong that you can judge cases, not lawyer, judge. Mm-hmm. We have no lawyers.
Right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. We have no lawyers in our courts. It's all judges. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. The man who's being judged, beside him is a judge. Mm. The one judging over the case, hearing it, is a judge. The one making sure that all lawful sightings are correct, you have the book, is a judge. The other side, with the prosecution, the one who is the victim, is that man. And beside him is his sheikh, his judge. And everybody is in agreement that the law is right. Mm-hmm. So we're just seeing where the law sits so that we may have peace between two brothers. Mm. It is a different case. I've sat down on many court proceedings to have the training to see how the court functioned. I functioned in it. I functioned in execution cases. Oh, you raped? No, death. And you have to sit and observe the execution. Mm-hmm. If you don't have the stomach for it, you're going to get it today. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we truly have to constantly be judging every matter that's before you.
And there's the process of growth. So yeah. Right now, think of it like breast milk. In the next stages, you get up to where you get more of, you'll be able to kind of feed yourself a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Right? When you get up to the advanced stages, some of you will become specialists. You'll become specialized in certain areas according to your gifts, talents, and abilities. Okay? The person who works in the city will probably be a specialist in civil law because the city civilization calls for it. While the person who's out in agriculture will be stronger in agricultural law. Everybody knows the same law, but the depth of understanding of it will be more with the agricultural person. So you have these different areas.
Right.
Right? Then there's areas that kind of everybody's kind of common with. Marriage and, getting married, keeping marriages together, arranging marriages for your sons and daughters. Because we have that custom. There is a custom of arranged marriages. But moving from the breast, right now, this is so imperative because the nation is built on this right now. Okay, the nation is being birthed right now. All that you see in the world is all a distraction from the nation being birthed. This is the greatest thing ever and the smallest at the same time. The nation is being birthed. I'm telling you openly that we're buying land and we're self-governed as a nation. I'm telling you, we're doing this law as a nation, as we speak, right? The finances are in motion. We've scouted the land. We know what to get and what we're looking for and where it is. Right? Not far from here. It's between 20 and 30 minutes. We've already here. We're sitting on it and we're teaching you the law before you get here. If you don't know that this is the birth of the nation, I don't know what to tell you. Good luck.
Well, I'm just grateful to be on the breast milk than to be still on the formula, the man-made
That
milk
stuff is toxic.
that I was on before, because that's what it was, a formula. Nah.
You're on somebody else's plan
right.
for your health.
Right.
Now you're on the breast.
Yeah.
Right? You're on the breast of the Most High. What, you're being nurtured, you're being fathered, you're being fed and developed. Because where we are now, if you follow the instructions, if you're listening to these recordings that we're putting up every day, sometimes 2 a day, if you're listening to what we're teaching in these classes, you're going to see and begin to understand where you need to be and what you need to be doing and why you need to be doing it. If you don't see why, at least you know what to do and how. Because 90% of the time for us, for our people, why comes in the doing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
If you are able to see why from where you are, then the Most High has gifted you with vision, and you need to be here before anybody else. Because you're going to become a leader because you can see why. Right? That's the gift of leadership. You can see what to do. You can see how to do it from the instruction, not from your imagination.
Right.
And you can see why.
Yes.
That's a leader. That's a gift. That's called vision. No, he's right. You have to go by the land. We have to govern ourselves. We have to form our own economy because as a nation, we have to feed the nation and develop the nation like a baby.
Yeah.
You see?
Yes, sir.
And then grow the nation. Then when the nation gets strong, it can begin to develop for itself.
Right.
You can change the approach.
I mean, it's the only way. All other ways don't work. We've been out there. We've done tried it. It does not work. This is the only way. And just what little bit that I've started in, I am seeing results. I'm seeing the reward of it. I'm seeing the change of mindset, within myself, that yes, this is the only way. There's no other way. There's no guessing about it. There's no imagination involved. There's no hope. There's no belief. No, it's very, very practical and very, very real.
So this is this is what we're doing. This is what has to be done. Okay? We're not making it up. So right now, being on the breast, right? I'm the one breastfeeding you at the moment. Right? It transfers. This position transfers. So as you move up to higher and higher levels and you begin to understand the judgment, you'll understand this process.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Because right now I'm just giving basic understanding, basic reading, and allowing the law to give you the basic definitions. Basic definitions. That is so crucial and vital, to what we're doing. Basic definitions, defining words so that you understand exactly what's being said and how it affects you.
Right.
This level of teaching, right,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to do in a few months, a year. You can do this with the next group so it can be multiplied. At that time, you have to be in a new position though.
Yeah.
You have to be in the land, starting to farm and telling the new person, you got to listen to these teachers, man, get this basic of the law. It's like this, it's like this, it's like this. But why are we doing this? This goes first, then this, so we can do it.
Learn the what and the how first. The why will come while you're doing the what and the how.
What now? What are we doing? Giving money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What are we doing now? Buying land.
Yeah.
So when we going to keep the Shabbat? Shh. Calm down. One step at a time.
One step, one step.
You start to understand that. So we'll be back right after this. All right. So that is important because the object is for people to grow and advance. Right? Everybody begins to get the basic understanding, the basic culture, the basic lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Then when we get into ordering the Shabbats, everybody's getting the next step in the culture and the lifestyle, and it's ordering. Mm-hmm. Observing the calendar, resetting the calendar, observing the moon and its movement and its festivals, and starting to learn it. You cannot do it from where you are. Mm-mm. You cannot do it outside of this land. Mm-mm. You cannot do it without this book. Mm-hmm. Okay? This book you see right here, this is the only Torah translated that you can get full understanding from. Mm-hmm. That is 100% succinct with everything that Enoch teaches, everything that Jasher says, everything that Jubilees also says. This one.
Yeah. So
now the book and its witnesses testify of the same thing. When we get into judgments, right? Because I have to teach you basic judgments. So we'll stick with one book.
Right.
Then we'll get into advanced judgments where we corroborate the story among the witnesses to get a broader spectrum.
Yes.
This is basic. This is fundamentally basic. So now once we come up out of this basic level, some of you will begin to be able to move. Mm-hmm. Will that happen over YouTube? Absolutely not. Not on YouTube. You're going to have to come and participate to get it. Because the practical application, the practical skills need to be gotten. But anybody can just listen to foundations that we're putting up here, the reading and the basic evaluations, and see that our judgment be right. All right. So moving forward. So you have to understand right now, I'm being like a mother to the nation, birthing the nation from my loins, right? Like I'm giving birth to the nation. So I'm being like a mother. right? The earth is in chaos, and I'm here nursing you. This is what the prophecy explains. If you don't have these books, you don't see it.
Right.
Okay? And when it says false prophet, a false prophet is a teacher that teaches you lies. And all the teachers teach lies right now. Why? None of them have this law. None of them have this understanding, and none of them are doing that which is lawful and right. The Most High calls all of them greedy dogs because they take your money to prosper themselves. They're not taking your money and building a nation in the mountains of Ammon, like he said. They send out like random people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll send out some random guy and be like, yo, go over there and just lay low, sit around, see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So when the Mashiach comes, we know what to do. These people wouldn't know the Mashiach if he walked past them, shook their hands, and introduced himself. They wouldn't know because they don't know what the actual work is, the fundamental jobs and principles, what the assignment is. The Most High says, I will raise him up unto you. I will take one of your sons. Not take somebody and raise them from the dead. He never said that. But you're out there with the beliefs of the Gentiles, so believe as you like. I know I pissed some people off. I'm always trying to get rid of folk.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like burying people all over our no property.
Well, you know, the prophet says it must be this way. I have to be sifted. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't wanna deal with them.
Yeah.
I don't feel like burying folk. You know what I'm saying? It's too much work.
Now, this is not like the time of Moshe back then.
I can bury seed with my hand. You know, burying people, you gotta like dig it up. I'm not with it. I'm good. I don't need it.
No, I completely understand.
Good. So what chapter we at?
We're on chapter 14, verse 1.
Chapter 14 and verse 1.
Yes.
As beloved children. I just told you guys that, right?
Yes.
We just talked about you being nursed right now. Nursed as beloved children before Yah, your Allah. You shall not make lacerations in your flesh. So there's no scarring of the flesh. Now, I know coming out, you got tattoos, right? Some of you do have facial scarring and tribal scarring from whatever was going on at whatever time that was done. No longer is that permitted for the children of Israel. Bani, Igbo, Bantu, Yakuba, no longer. It's not permitted. Nor make bare the crown of your hair over your foreheads on account of the soul of the dead. So in mourning, you don't shave your head. Something bad happens, somebody died, you don't shave your head for that. Okay? Didn't say you can't shave your head. It said don't shave your head for this.
Right.
Okay? So, you shall not make lacerations in your flesh, nor make bare the crown of your hair. For you are to be a holy people before Yah, your Allah. Yah, your Allah, hath chosen you to be a people more beloved than all peoples who are upon the face of the earth. Now, this is for the beloved children, those of you on the breast. You see, you get this law, you the beloved people. And this one, you on the breast, you're getting the understanding. We're going through the law, and we're going to go through the judgments right after. You may not eat of anything that for you is abominable. Okay? These are the animals which you may eat: oxen and lambs, and ewes. You don't know what ewes are. So for those of you who don't know what a ewe are, ewe is a female sheep. Lambs. Such as are not blemished or unclean. So if it has a cyst of growth and infection, you don't eat those. The only way to ensure that you're not getting that at the supermarket is to grow it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to raise them. You have to raise them
Because
yourself.
they put anything in the store market.
Yeah.
Hear me. You cannot trust your governments, the farms, the supermarkets, quality control. These people are lying to you. You don't know it's good unless you grow it yourself amongst our own flocks. So let us buy our own flocks. Such as are not blemished, and kids of the goat, unmixed with what are unclean. So, your goats, okay, they cannot be mixed with things that are unclean, but you do eat goats. Harts. If you don't know what a hart is a stag, a male deer. Okay? It is a male deer. Antelopes. Okay? Antelope is, again, impalas, gazelles. They're deer. They're in the deer family. The fallow deer. I know you don't know what the fallow deer is. Okay? These are the wild deer that we have here, like the ibex and the ones that climb on the mountainsides here. You don't have those, but we have those. Rock goats, all the goats that climb on the mountains. And reams. If you don't know what a ream is, I'll tell you what a ream is. The reams are like reindeer. Okay? This family. They all deer. Okay? All the deer. The different kinds in different areas. The ones in the snow, the ones in the heat, the ones in the desert. All the deers. Wild oxen. So you can eat the water buffalo. You can eat the bisons. You can eat all the wild ox. Okay? You eat these. Eat this. Okay? And that's all the different kinds. Okay? And it tells you the pygarchs. And I'll tell you what these are. Okay? The pygarchs. I'm going to look these up and we'll see. I'll see if I can even get a picture. Okay? And we'll tell you what these are.
It looks like a deer.
Right. So you know the deer, they have these here. They actually, some of these have like fangs and stuff. Okay, I'll show you. Let's see if I can, like in addicts, but these are pygarchs. I'm gonna give you a picture so you can see them. And pull it up. These. Okay. All right. Hope you can see that.
Yeah, it's just their horns are made a little different.
Yeah, like they use them for the
Shofar.
shofars and stuff like that.
Okay.
These are sanctioned to be eaten.
Okay.
And these are all, every animal that hath divided the hoof and horns, and that cleave to the cleft, so it's on the side of the rocks, and brings up the cud among animals that you may eat. Okay?
So meat is very much part of our diet.
It is. It's not all the time.
Right.
Right? I eat meat maybe once or twice a week. It's not all the time.
Right.
But it is in the diet. But of these you may not eat, that bring up the cud, or of those who only have the divided hoof. The thing that casts an embryo, or the baby, that has two heads. So if you see a two-headed anything, deer, cow, whatever, don't eat it. Or a double back is doubled back to back. The Siamese thing, it come out deformed, don't eat it. Things which are not to be perpetuated in the same species.
Yeah, the camel.
Okay? You don't eat the camel. You don't eat the hare, the coney, the rabbit, because they chew the cud, but not divide the hoof. They are unclean. You don't eat the swine, because though he hath divided hoof, there is none produced that like him divide the hoof, and yet cheweth not the cud. It is unclean to you. Of their flesh you shall not eat, nor touch their dead bodies. So the swine, this is abominable to you. Not that it doesn't work for another purpose. Okay? If you a broke farmer and you need to turn over your soil, get you a couple of pigs. They'll turn the soil right up over for you. The only thing you have to do is go in and remove the big rocks.
You know,
but don't touch it after it dies.
You know, as we can see here, what is written, what we are not to eat has nothing to do with science. It has everything with direct instructions by Yah. It's nothing scientific. And what I recognize, and even I at one point, you know, was concerned, well, you know, the pig's digestive tract is this way, so this is why we don't eat. That has nothing to do with it. He just states that we don't eat it because of its makeup. What it eats, you don't eat the cud, as well as the hoof.
This hoof is divided, but it don't
eat the cud.
So
it makes it very clear. So it has nothing to do with science. And what we don't realize is that when we're doing this, we are actually taking two different belief systems and putting it together. You're taking
the belief of the Gentiles and their magic science. And you're trying to make it fit into it don't fit.
No,
we don't do it because we're commanded not to, and this is our law.
Right.
I don't need your explanation as to why it could be good, why it's not good. I don't need that at all.
Yeah.
It's abominable to me by my law. I don't even care.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to learn to start doing, right? That we have to learn to let the law be our definition.
Right.
Stop reciting the Bible like a book of magic, like it's going to fix the problem. It doesn't fix the problem. I fix the problem. The book just tells me how to govern myself to fix it. No, I don't eat it. My God said not to. My law says not to. I don't eat it.
Right.
But it has this special mineral that you need to live. No, it don't.
Right.
It don't have nothing for me. Well, this is why the Most High said don't eat it. The Most High said why he said don't eat it. He said it's abominable, and the Most High wrote exactly why. It's divided in the hoof, but it doesn't chew the cud. Don't eat it.
Yes.
So if I get hungry, before I can get a slice of bacon, I might as well go grab a bow and arrow or a gun and go out and get a deer.
Yeah.
Shoot it and eat it.
Yeah.
But this you may eat of all that are in the waters. Whatever has fins to move, as by flying. You see that?
Yes, sir, I do.
So it says you have to eat the fish that fly in the water. So you can't have flounder. You can't have catfish and mud skippers. This fish has to be the fish that swim through the water like flying. It don't touch it's not a bottom fish. Okay? First of all, that's where you start. Don't change. The fish that have fins for moving as by flying. So you can't eat manta rays. All right? And scales upon its skin. And though some of which may fall away, yet if there remain on under its jaw, another under its fin, and another under its tail, you may eat it.
Wow.
So there are some fish that have limited scales. So if the scales be limited, but the scales remain under the jaw, under the fins, and around the tail,
You can eat it.
you can eat it.
Very precise.
Okay? So it can be similar like a catfish. We have a fish here. It's similar like a catfish. It's the red one. And it have like fins here, scales here, 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 and by the tail. Right? It swims in the ocean, but in the body part, it's similar like catfish.
Okay.
But it has scales in those places. This fish is found right over here. You find it in the Mediterranean and in the Red Sea.
Okay.
Right? It's a big fish too. Big old fish. You know what I'm saying? So it's specifying this fish because it's local. Meaning that since you're coming from far and you don't know the fish over here, this one, it look a little strange.
Right.
But this one lawful to eat.
Right.
Because you don't know. That's another thing about You think the Most High's word is in vanity. You think you know it. The Most High is telling you this because you don't know.
Know it. Right.
I'm reading you this law because you don't know.
Yeah.
The proof that you know is in the doing.
Yes.
And since you're not doing it, I know you're not doing it. You want to know why? Because nobody came and nobody offered to receive me. There's no village nowhere for you to be accepted in the land to come back to the land. I'm in the land. I'm in the exact place the Most High says to be according to the instruction, and nobody's here. Right. There's no acceptance. There's no economy. There's no business here except for what I am making for my people. So that's the proof that all the other teachers are liars and false prophets. Because the teacher's supposed to do this.
And to be very honest, those that are here, it's all individualistic living. Everybody's about themselves.
No community.
No community.
So again, that's the sign that they're not living lawfully.
That's right.
Because you have to build community under the law. You have to. You have to have towns, right? You have to have a sanctuary, which is a safe place. Okay? Within the sanctuary, which is the safe place to live and conduct business amongst yourselves, within the sanctuary, there is a place of prayer. But you don't have a sanctuary. You don't have a safe place to come yet because I'm building it.
And you know, too, there's no brotherhood. And the foundation is having that brotherhood.
Now, that's my religion. That's my only religion.
Yeah, there's no brotherhood, and which caused there being no sisterhood.
See? So but again, you have not yet been taught how to be brothers, right, or how to be sisters. There's a development process. It starts by coming together, there being a basic common teaching every day, not just sometimes.
Right. So
the sisterhood come together and talk regularly every day. And I'm not talking about talk about your personal business. We're discussing the law and getting the foundation of what's supposed to be and then helping each other. And that's it. I'm not talking about who like who and who with who and who's hooking up. No. But whatever hath neither fins nor scales, you may not eat. It is unclean to you.
Wow.
We'll be back after this. So whatever has neither fins nor scales, you may not eat it. So whale, that's abominable. Dolphin, that's abominable. All right? Every bird which has a vesicle or crop, which may be picked away, okay, and which the bird is longer than the finger, and not of the rapacious kind. So this word rapacious, right? It's not a raptor kind, okay? It's not a grabbing, grasping, predatory kind, okay? Okay, it's not like an osprey or an eagle. Okay, the birds that catch with the feet. Okay, you may eat. Did you see that? It has a vesicle or crop which may be picked away. Right? So the vesicle is a small fluid-filled bladder within the body of the bird. Yes. Okay? It's a small part of the bird. Okay? I'm looking up the crop to give it to you from a bird because there's a lot of different crops. And this is what I mean by the definition, right? So the crop of a bird is giving you a specific place to go look for this definition. And it will weed out a bunch of other definitions that English gave you so that you can understand what the Most High is talking about.
I remember one time looking this up. If I'm not mistaken, the crop has a lot to do with the gizzards and the livers.
It is.
Yes. Which one of the examples that they had for it was a chicken and a turkey and pheasants.
Right. The pheasant, the whole pheasant family, chicken included, they all have a crops.
Yes.
Okay? I'm going to look for it real quick because I want everyone to have the same understanding. Don't worry, give me a second. I know people are a little used to noise. Okay? All right, I can't get a picture of this vesicle, but all the pheasant family, the quail family, these are birds that have vesicles. They are good to eat. All right? They are good to eat. But these are they which you may not eat. You don't eat the eagle. You're not going to eat the ossifrage, the vulture, the bearded vulture. Okay? So we're not eating the eagles, the vultures, the ospreys. Okay? You're not going to eat secretary birds. Right? Okay? You're not going to eat any of the birds of prey or vultures, no ravens, no owls, no nighthawks, no cuckoos. Okay? No falcons, no great owls, no seagulls, no night owls, no cormorants, no pikas, no storks, no heathcocks.
Partridge.
So no partridges. That's what a heathcock is. Because I know somebody was going to go look up a chicken. So no partridges and no bats. And all flies, bees, wasps, and all worms of vegetables and pulse, which come from materials of food and fly as birds are unclean to you, they may not be eaten. So you don't eat no flies, no bees, no wasps, and you're not eating any worms. Right? None of the worms that grow on vegetables, they're unclean, get rid of them. Okay? But any clean locust you may eat. Locust. You shall not eat of anything that is unclean through the manner of its death. So you don't eat things that died on its own, and now you come and harvest up the meat. You know they serving that to you in the supermarket. They feed you what they killed, what died of its own. They just give you anything.
You know what's interesting here? It calls the locust a beast. Because I remember in one of the videos you talked about how we will be amazed what's considered reptiles, what could be considered.
Yeah. The reorganization of the animal kingdom is right here. Yeah. And you're going to stop calling my forefathers simple-minded and ancient as if they don't know what they're talking about. The disrespect is at an all-time high. Okay? They have built buildings better than the buildings we have today. You're going to stop calling them simple. My ancestors was great. So I'm not accepting nobody with a disrespectful mind to denigrate or disrespect what the information and the knowledge that my ancestors passed on to me. So if you don't accept it, you want to accept the information and knowledge from some other people, that's fine. Go be with them. So you may not eat anything that is unclean through the manner of its death. You may give it to the uncircumcised stranger who is in your cities to eat it. So again, this is the Most High overturning the judgment. So what they fed us,
feed them.
Give that to them. They like it. Let them eat that. Oh, there was an accident and the cow died. You don't eat it. You go put that right there to the strangers. Put that in the meat market for them. So you may give it to the uncircumcised stranger who is in your cities to eat it. Now, remember, he said uncircumcised.
Yes, he did. Very much so.
Okay? Now, I want you to understand, within the house of Abraham, they're circumcised. It's not for them. But your manservants, they come from far, and, they come from Europe, Africa, they can have it. You to eat it or sell it to a son of the Gentiles. So now you can sell it to outside the family. Not for inside the family, outside you could sell it. For you are a holy people before Yah your Allah. It shall not be lawful for you to boil, much less eat, flesh and milk when both are mixed together. I don't care how you feel about it. You cannot have milk and meat together.
So no more cheeseburgers.
No cheese and meat together. It's an abomination. I don't care how good you believe it to taste. Take it into your mind today that no, it's an abomination. I fear the Most High. I'm not doing it. You have to abominate this to yourself. Not that it tastes bad. The reason why is because it's not permitted to me by the instruction, not because of something else. Because the something else that you're looking for is your own death, your enslavement, your disease, pestilence, captivity. Everything you are suffering now while you slathering it down your throat. Nasty. Be mindful to tithe your fruitage of whatsoever cometh forth, at which you gather in from the field year by year.
So we must have a field.
You have to have the field to give the tithe. So you understand what I'm asking you now is for an offering to build the sanctuary from what you already have, from the sustenance you have, so that we may have the field to grow the food so that we can have a tithe. No field, no tithe. And I'm not talking as a person or an individual. If you're thinking about this on an individual level, no individual can support a nation. This is a nation we're building. So you know how many fields I gotta buy? They don't know.
No, they don't.
I'm looking at least 60. 60 just to start.
Yeah, that's just the start. That's just the start.
60. Everything ranging from between, 3 acres to 12. I was looking at 92 the other day.
Yeah. The nine, the 6, the 12. That's
Cute.
That's cute. That's small.
I was looking at 92 the other day.
Yeah.
I'm ready to buy whole towns. I'm telling you don't understand. I'm not asking for a small thing because I'm trying to prepare for you.
Right.
If no food be available for you when you get here, how are you going to eat? If there's no economy when you get here, how are you going to sustain yourself? It's not difficult to plug into. However, you're going to need to sow into your own kingdom. It's yours.
Right.
It's yours. I'm sowing into it every check, every day. Every nickel and dime goes into building this.
You know, every offering, every sacrifice, every tithe is food. So you have to have.
It said fruitage. It didn't say tithe your money.
No, it didn't.
You can take money, but you have to convert it back into food in the land. So I'm telling you, lawfully, send the money. We have to buy land to get some fruit. The Most High want to see fruits and vegetables come from us. He don't want your money. I'm trying to teach them how to see lawfully, but you know.
But they want to do these things. They want to tithe. They want the offering. They want to do all this, but they don't want to do it in the way that it's to be done.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
So now watch this. We're about to get deep because here's where you guys are not going to like this.
Yeah.
Okay? So for whatsoever come forth, and that which you gather in from the field year by year, not giving the fruit of one year for the fruit of another. So what the fruit that come right this year, I give that. Whatever is left over and remain and we have from last year, when we get into the next year, I don't give from the old.
Right.
I always give the freshest, newest. That's the best. That's how you know it's the best. It's the freshest, newest. I don't give from last year's portion and then keep this year's portion to myself. 10% is 10%. Just take this. Right. No, that's not permitted. And the second tithe.
The second.
So you have to give what? How much? That's 1%? No, you have to give 10% as the tithe, right?
Yes, 10%.
If there's a second tithe, you have to give 20%.
Mhm.
What is the 20% for? And the second tithe you shall eat
Mhm.
before Yah your Allah in the place which he will choose to make your Shekinah dwell there. The tenths of your corn, your vines, and your oil, and likewise the firstlings of your oxen and sheep, that you may learn to fear Yah your Allah all the days. So, first of all, the Most High is clearly stated here there's 20% have to be given from whatever we bring in. And this is the start of the sanctuary. And it's for learning to fear the Most High. 20%. So 10% goes, and this is to provide for the Levites because they have to learn and develop. Another 10% is added to it, and this is for the people to eat for every new moon, every Shabbat, every feast day. The second tithe is for everybody who is with us to eat every feast day. Every Shabbat, every new moon, every high holy day, every memorial day, every day of remembrance.
Right.
Because now, because you're eating together, you're learning. Because why? Why? Why would the Most High make this a law for the Shabbat? Because you don't know how to turn off a stove. So, and the Levites' first duty while the nation is small, they are cooking for everyone on this day. Not just the meat.
Yeah.
And so in eating, you're not eating their portion because the nation is small. You're not eating the Levite portion,
Right.
because the nation is small. They have their portion and a double portion for you while we're eating together, and it don't affect them on the days of the week.
And you know what's
Because we outnumber them. That's another thing.
so even for us to fear Yah, we have to have our land.
Yes,
We
yes.
have
No
to have
land.
our food.
No land,
To fear him.
no oil, no corn, no oxen, no fear of the Yah for learning for you. So like I said, the nation is being birthed right now. I'm about to birth the nation right now. Okay? Now you can participate or not. It's going to happen because I know those who are with me and support me are helping to usher in the birth, like midwives and doctors, right? They're supporting me as I'm giving birth to the nation right now, right before your eyes. So all the chaos you see in the world is because the nation is being born. And the trembling is getting more and more intense because the nation's going to be birthed. What happens when you're born in captivity? They signed a what? They sign a birth certificate. You know what's getting ready to happen when I buy this land? We're going to sign a deed, a sealed certificate of ownership, and the nation will be birthed on that land.
So to understand us being chosen, the chosen people, we must accept and understand that we are returning back to our agricultural customs.
Now look, so let's say you're an Israelite and you're far away and you have sheep, oxen, and goats, and you have crops, vegetables. You have all of this where you are, right? No problem. I understand. Let's take a look. Since you're an Israelite, you keeping the law where you are. Because the sanctuary is where the ensign is, where the law is being taught. The law is coming forth now from Zion. Here you go. I'm telling you. Okay? So here we go. And if the way be too great for you to be able to carry the tenth of the fruitage, the 20% from your crops, from your labor, from your work of your hands, right? Because the place which Yah, your Allah, will choose for his Shekinah to dwell, there is too distant from you. So if you in America, in South America, in Canada, in the UK, in Europe, in Australia,
wherever you are,
in the Philippines, in the West Indies, in the Pacific Islands, in India, in Asia, wherever you is, even if you in the Middle East, if you in Africa, if you anywhere, and it's too far, it's distant. You can't bring your cows, you can't bring your sheep, you can't give your tenth of your crops, of your goods. When Yah, thy Allah, shall have blessed thee. So after you've received it, then thou mayest make exchange for it into silver. And bind the sum in thy hand. So take it and set it apart in your hand in silver. And proceed, go to the place which Yah thy Allah has chosen. I'll be right back. So now you have to go to the place, proceed. First of all, let me tell you something. I'm military, right? Being military, I have the discipline when I'm given an order and given an instruction. My response to my commanding officer is, proceeding, sir. I have to proceed, meaning I am going to do this right now and expeditiously to begin a course of action. So you're supposed to proceed to the place which Yah thy Allah shall have chosen, which is right here. It told you it's in the mountains of Aman. I told you need to come here, right? Then, and give the silver for anything that thy soul pleases, of oxen, of sheep, of wine, new or old, or whatever thy soul desireth. And you shall eat there before Yah your Allah, and rejoice, you and the men of your house. You're not doing that either. Right? So you're supposed to come and give the oxen and sheep. If you don't have the oxen and sheep, you're supposed to desire for the sanctuary to have the land for the oxen and sheep. See right here?
Yes.
See right here. Let me show you this. See this right here? See, it says, or whatever thy soul desireth. So if you didn't have this, the olives and the olive oil to bring here, you could have bought the land with the olive trees.
Yeah.
For the sanctuary and said, here, you need the land. Common sense. No, basic. Just basic. No, tell me. Just tell me common sense, basic. Like,
Basic.
you could have just bought the land.
Right.
And said, listen, the sanctuary has to have land. And you have to have trees and this and this and this and this and this and this. And consider this my offering.
Yes.
Because I'm too far for a tithe. But every year that this field give is for the sanctuary. It's supposed to be 20%. Take this. Right? It says, whatever thy soul desires. You could have bought the land, right?
Right. And isn't our soul desired by the spirit of prophecy speaking to our heart?
But again,
to
they don't
do this.
This is how you know they don't have no prophecy.
Okay.
They don't have there's no spirit with them. This is why I told you they cursed.
Yeah.
This is why I told you this is cursed people. You know why they cursed? They believe they're hearing from the Most High and they're talking to demons and serpents. They are not talking to the Most High. The Most High does not talk to uncleanness.
That's right.
He doesn't speak to uncleanness. And then he says, before you come before me, you have to clean yourself.
That's right.
And in order to be clean, you have to be following the instructions. Means you have to be making your way out of.
But that's the gathering.
Captivity. I know.
That's the gathering.
And the funny part is they keep looking for somebody from the house of David who's supposed to help them, to guide them, to lead them out.
But see what?
But they don't see when I say, like, hey, here's the understanding, the land is here. I'm sitting here. You notice that?
But see, the thing is, you're not a carpenter, and you're not with.
What's wrong with your people? Why are they looking for mystical sky niggas?
I don't know.
These are your people.
I know. Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
And you know who's worse than the men? The women.
Yes.
Because they keep the men and keep enticing them to look for sky niggas.
Sure is.
They imagine a nigga that they want to marry, and now they imagining sky niggas.
Yeah.
And the Most High don't want niggas. He wants the sons of Israel.
That's right.
So what's wrong with your people?
Delusional.
Listen, you need to get your people together.
Yeah.
I'm doing my part.
Yes, sir. I know I gotta do this. Got to.
I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing out here. They ain't moved.
And then two, you're not a carpenter, you're an engineer.
You know what? Here, look. I am a carpenter. I have my certification in carpentry. I got my certification in carpentry, plumbing, electrical, building maintenance and repair, construction, low pressure boilers. I'm certified. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, you can ask my cousin. Shout out to Dwayne down at Abilene. You know what I'm saying? I was his shop foreman. So I'm just letting you know. I'm certified. I also build and design and retrofit, airplanes. It's not that difficult. You know what I'm saying? All you need is the right tools. The tools happen to be the most expensive part.
Or maybe they're wanting you to have the little gray afro with the beard and be super tall.
Listen, every time a new hero come up, they want that. So now they want Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
They're looking for somebody from a comic book.
Yeah, they are.
So let's move on. I'm gonna continue reading. And the Levite who is in your cities forsake not, for he hath no portion or heritage with you. Listen carefully.
It says cities, and so we supposed to have cities. Okay.
So he have no portion who is in your cities, forsake him not. So I'm not going to forsake the Levite who's coming. All right?
Yes.
At the end of 3 years, you shall bring forth all the tenth of your produce for that year and lay them up in your cities.
So produce.
No, yeah, it's exactly 3 years from today.
3 years.
In 3 years from today,
yes,
we will bring up the produce, okay?
Yes.
I'm not talking to them no more. Right. As you can clearly see, the Most High is talking for people who are in the land, buying the land.
Yes.
Because these people, and I want them to, I'm recording this to bear witness, because these people are not going to get none of this because they heard and didn't do.
Right.
So now they're going to suffer.
Yeah, because
See,
they're
they're
rejecting.
rejecting the instruction. Okay, so when we come here, it says in 3 years.
In 3
So now
years.
this is why you're buying,
Yes.
right? We're buying and we're planting and we're growing and we're getting, and it's going to take some time. But in 3 years, we can start bringing up tithe because we'll have that much. It's 3 years of buying land and
Yes.
developing it. Okay.
Yes, and we have to have the 200 of the herd in order to give those
Right. So we have
offerings
3 years to grow
grow
up herds and everything. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I just
Yes,
want you to
sir.
know this is when the conversation get personal.
Yes.
And I'm showing you the personalness of the conversation. This is what we're going to do.
Yes, yes, we are.
With or without them, they don't matter. I don't care
No.
what they do.
Right.
This is why they sitting out there. In the last class, I showed them that they was talking to the false prophets of Babel, the false
Right.
prophets of Baal, waiting for a nuclear bomb, taking selfies. Remember the picture
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
yesterday?
yeah.
That's why I showed them this, because they think it's a game.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do.
And the Levite, because he have no heritage with you, and the stranger, and the orphan, and the widows who are in your city shall come and eat and be satisfied, that Yah, your Allah, may bless you in all the works of your hands that you do. So now it says that the strangers is going to come.
Yes, they are.
Right. Now, the strangers don't own not a damn thing,
No,
so they
they
ain't got
don't.
no claim. They going to come to us for asylum.
That's
On
right.
our stuff because we got food.
Right.
And they're going to eat with us. Okay? So we're going to make sure we got platters.
Yes. Yes, we are.
You understand? And
Yes,
everybody's
sir.
going to eat. We're going to have a Shabbat, and we're going to give out the food on platters.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So I want you to understand that, all right?
Understood.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And this is from the works of, this is your hands.
Hands.
This is for the doers,
Yes.
not for those that imagine themselves doing it or say, why can't I do it from America or from wherever I am? When he clearly said, proceed. You see how this information folds out? And I told you, like, it's for 2 generations. This is the most, he's not talking to them right now.
No.
He's talking to us.
Right, right.
This personal. So this is
Yes.
what we're going to do.
Yes, sir.
Right? And this is why I was looking at the embroidery and the sewing machines for the
Yes.
Tethylins, for the people who are coming, who are with us, they're getting
Yes,
ready
sir.
to get this.
Yes,
and so
sir.
since people want to be nosy and be in on my conversation and what I be saying in my private time, I'm gonna have it with you.
Yes,
In
sir.
front of them, because it's nothing to hide.
No, no, no.
Anybody who know me, I'm straightforward. I say exactly what I'm saying. When the camera is on, that's when the camera's off. I just
Yes.
wanted you to know.
Yeah, and I just get the opportunity to be part of the conversation.
Right, you're joining the conversation.
Yes.
See that? So now all the work of our hands, and they're going to come and eat and be satisfied. So they're going to eat with us on the Shabbats and the new moons and our days and whatever.
Right.
And the ones that work with us will eat with us because we're all surviving and eating together. This is how the sanctuary works. This is why we're getting the sanctuary.
Yes.
Shout out to the high priest, man. I love you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Alhamdulillah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of 7 years, you shall make a release.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is year 1. So
Yes.
you remember when I reset the calendar?
Yes, sir.
So the 7th year is a year of release,
Yes.
right? So I was released,
Right.
right, in that time.
Right.
This year 1. So at
Yes.
the end of the 7th year, I was released. So I came out and I got all my paperwork. Remember you saw my paperwork?
Yes, sir.
And I stopped by the Capitol and I raised the ensign against the Capitol.
Yes, you did.
Then I bought my tickets, got my visa, and I left.
Yes, sir.
Because the end of the 7th year for us
Is in the fall.
is in the fall.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
See? So the rest of the world, they began the 8th year.
Right.
So their 8th year closing now, and I get to reset the calendar.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Because I was released in the 7th,
Right.
came to the land, and it's now the 8th year
Yeah.
for me.
Yes.
They're beginning year 9,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
They're beginning year 9 now. So
Yes, they are.
now I'm still on 8.
Correct. Because the 9th begins for them on Tishri, which is this week coming.
Right. So when you see this right here, right, it says bringing the produce in 3 years. So I have to get the land and sow it
Right.
to bring it.
Yes.
So we already and just in year 1. We get the instructions. We got 6, 7 more months.
Correct.
So in the 7th month, we have to have the land, and that's will be our acceptable sacrifice in passing over this year.
Correct.
We're getting the land. Then we have another year. We have to sow the land.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
so
sir.
You sow in what time? You're going to be sowing in the springtime.
Yes,
so we
sir.
have from now to the fall to get it, and then that's our acceptable sacrifice for that time.
Right.
Then our acceptable sacrifice in the springtime is we have to buy all the seeds.
Yes, we do.
Sow all the land and get everything ready, because the acceptable tithe is going to be coming in. The first fruit will come in at the end of the spring.
Yes, sir.
And then there will be at the end of the year, and we bring in the tithe at the end of the year, which will be in November, December-ish. But we have that whole time from Passover in the fall to bring in the tithe.
Yes, sir.
You see, I stopped talking to them. There's no need to talk to. There's no need to talk to unlawful people about lawful procedures.
Correct.
So at that time, so you see how the Most High, when he says 3 years, there's 2 years of preparation.
Correct.
So from the time we receive this instruction, which is right now, we still have another 6, 7 months till we get the land.
Yes, sir.
Then we have another year of sowing the land until the harvest come in. But the harvest will come in when? At the beginning of the third year for us.
Yes.
See, so when the 3rd year will have come, because we're in 1 now, the next year will be 2, but that's just for sowing. But in the beginning of the 3rd year, at that Passover, the beginning of the 3rd year, we will have the tithe to come in.
Yes,
right?
we will.
To have that Shavuot 50 days after the Passover in the fall.
Yes, sir.
I want you to see the beautiful mathematics and how it fits succinctly. So for us, we will do this.
Yes, we will.
Those people will be dead.
Yes, sir. Yes, they will.
I'll tell them that you will be dead.
Yes,
if you're not here, if you're not dead, you'll be dying. If you're not dying, you'll be working your way to get here. That may take a longer time.
Correct.
The only way to live is to get here. Let me stop talking to the dead, because they don't hear you.
No,
so
they don't.
that's the beautiful thing about the mathematics. The harvest time, the Most High will count it from the first for us. So that in the beginning of the 3rd year, that's what he said right here. So you see the code at the end of 3 years, you shall bring forth the 10. See that?
Yes. Bring forth all the tenths.
Right.
Of your
so
produce.
Again, in that 3rd year, we're bringing in the first little harvest or whatever. And then there's the end of the 3rd year, which again, bring back you to the harvest time, because you're about to begin the 4th year. It's always about the harvest.
Right. And when it talks about the tenths here, because I remember in a previous video you were sharing about how the 10th is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when you get to 10th, or you could start at the 1 and you bring that in, or the 10th of the tree of the count.
Right. You'll be counting the omers. So remember, for us, the fall time is like first fruit for us, because it's the beginning of the year. The end of the year, because we didn't give in the springtime when we sowed.
Yes.
So we have to wait, come back around in the springtime, and then give the first fruits from the summer and from the springtime, because we didn't get a chance to get it.
Okay.
That's why you see the end of 3 years.
Okay.
That 3rd year, you're giving that whole year. Okay. See, that's another thing. Harvest is year round. Certain things ripen at different times.
Correct.
So what you didn't give, because you don't give in the 2nd, you're still sowing and planting and getting ready. But that 3rd year is going to be so nice. All right?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay? We will discuss more about the 7th year tomorrow.
Okay.
Y'all join us tomorrow. We'll talk more about the 7th year. I hope y'all enjoyed this class. I wanted y'all to actually see how I actually talk and teach face to face about people who actually do in the law and how the system works, because it's in the law. So since you need to see it and see how I'm doing the count, right? So just remember, you know what I'm saying, when the Amakol comes in, because you know he's coming in May, and he's bringing the check. So we get in the land, and we're gonna get, and we'll know what the budget is to what we're gonna do this May.
Yes, sir.
Because May is also the same time around the first Shavuot.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So now the first time when I came out of the land, I received land the first time when I come out. You know that story. You've seen the paperwork and my teacher and everything. You've seen the video.
Yes.
So it's going to repeat this year because it's been 7 years. But this time I'm doing it not for myself.
No, but for.
See, the land I got before, this land mine. It's my birthright inheritance that's over there that I have to take everybody to from here. This land here is part of my inheritance, but it's for the people.
Right.
See, so as a prince, I'm doing my job, but they don't know the ordering of things because we can only be here temporarily.
Yes.
We have to move into the mainland and then grow from there because we have to get the shipping port and everything else.
Yes.
So the discussion that, I'm having with you, and now they listening, but I want them to understand I'm not talking to them.
Exactly.
Because they're not here doing nothing.
But
I want them to see what it is we're talking about. So in this time, over this next 3 years, these Israeli people will be gone from this country.
Yes. And they know it.
No, they know. I'm telling you, they're doing all they can to get all they can get now, but they will be gone from here.
Right.
And the people, they won't be in America then either.
No.
They won't be there. America will be a desolation. It will be glowing in the dark. Nobody's living there.
That's right.
Nobody's going to crawl out of a rock. Nobody's crawling out of a tunnel. Nobody's crawling out of a bunker. It will be a desolation.
Yes, filled with wild beasts.
Yes, only the wild beasts and ostriches.
Yes.
Cats.
Yes, that's it.
A few little things that can survive, really hardy things, they will be surviving there. Other than that, it'd be a desolation.
Yes, it will.
Nobody will be living there. I'm telling you this now because they don't deserve to hear the word of prophecy. You do because you're working on it.
Yes, sir.
So I'm telling you, this is what it'll be.
Yes, it will.
So by the time we bring in the harvest, they will be erased.
Well, that's what I've read.
Okay?
Yes.
So now you see, when you read in Jubilees, it would be 7.
Yes. Then 2.
7, I did 7. That's for me.
Yes.
Then we have 2 years of preparation. And 1, I'm coming out, and the high priest coming out in the spring. So you see, we come out at the 2 different harvest times for the 2 different what? Shavuot, for the 2 different renewals of the covenants.
Yes, sir.
Then we have 1 year to get really prepared and get sold up and get the land and get the businesses, the stores and everything else. Then in the 3rd year, we begin to bring in the harvest, the first harvest in the fall and the second harvest in the spring. Right?
Okay.
You understand the timing?
Yes, I do understand.
By that time, once the land is sold and everything else, everybody else will be
gone.
They'll be most of them be dead. Yeah. They'll be in different countries and everything. They'll have to.
Because they be exiled.
They'll be exiled, but none of them is coming here.
Right.
Okay. I mean, they'll have to follow the trickle of water to get back here. They'll come back by streams. They're going to be walking. They're going to really appreciate what we have built here when and if they get here. But they're not going, the majority of them are not going to see it. I'm telling you this.
I understand.
And it's recorded.
Yes.
For the purpose of bearing witness against these people.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
It's not recorded to benefit these people.
Yes.
We started it says, hold on, let me just check. I'm talking, but sometimes while I'm talking, you can get things misconstrued. Maybe I'm being emotional. Okay? So let's look up what I'm talking about, because I could be wrong. Okay? So I need to be sure of what I'm reading here. I'm gonna go back because I don't want to go into something I haven't read
yet. Yes.
to them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna look it up and make sure I'm saying the right thing. And this is a beginning. This is a little micro judgment. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
So to show you Deuteronomy chapter 4. Okay, so we're going to look at the code. So this is Deuteronomy 4:26.
Yes.
So you could say, that's the code for this, like, right? Like the penal code, like police code.
Yes.
Okay. I attest against you this day. See? It doesn't say for you. I attest against you this day, the sworn witnesses of the heavens and the earth, that perishing you will perish swiftly from the land. See that? To possess which you pass the Jordan. So you have to pass to Jordan.
And it's not talking about the Jordan River. It's talking about the land itself, Jordan.
So if they don't come to cross the Jordan, you will not lengthen out days upon it, but will be utterly destroyed.
That's what it says.
See? And somebody will say, the way you read it, I don't see that right there. All right. Maybe I'm twisted. Okay? So let's go to another place and let's see what it says. Okay? For Yah, this code Deuteronomy 6:15. For Yah, our Allah, is a jealous Allah and an avenger, who Shekinah dwelleth in the midst of you, lest the anger of Yah your Allah be kindled against you, and he quickly destroy you from the face of the earth. You see that?
And what they don't realize by them not being obedient to come, that they are tempting him. Very dangerous.
Not tempting him, because now it's the end of the line. You're coming to get this smoke. You're going to get the smoke.
Yeah, because the 10 temptations.
Right, that's the point. Yeah. You have to get the smoke, right? So when it says, just to show you that the first thing I read was correct, let's go to code Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 7. This code.
Yes, sir.
Turn you and journey to Arad and Hormah, and go up to the mountains of the Amoree and to the dwelling places of Ammon. They went to Arad and Hormah, right? And to the mountains of the Amoree. They never went to the dwelling places of Ammon. They never came here to dwell.
Right.
You see that? Right. So I just wanted you to see, so that now when I says, I'm telling you, it's my job to tell you, because this wasn't fulfilled, we must come and fulfill this and dwell in Ammon.
Yes.
Are we in Ammon?
Yes, we are.
Are we dwelling here?
Yes, we are.
Okay, now when we go by land here and around the surrounding areas and in the mountains and start getting ourselves together, I just want you to know, this is why the distractions are coming. This is why everything is getting blown up, the earthquakes. So it was promised that the Most High said, when my anointed will come, that I will what? I will trouble Constantina and Rome and all these other nations. So, the people who wanted to go to Turkey, how's Turkey looking now? You thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, because that's
Constantinople, which is Istanbul, which is Turkey. So now it's all rubble. They get earthquakes a couple of times a day, a couple of times a week. You thought it was a good idea. Keep playing with the member, y'all. Keep playing. I'm done. This was a good conversation to have.
Yes, sir, it is.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all patience and enjoying our conversation. I know how much y'all like ear hustling. So we hope you got a good ear hustle out of that, because we're going to build this
Yes, we
over the
are.
next 2 years and bring in the tithes in 3 years as commanded,
Yes, we are.
with or without you. With or without you. I just wanted you to know.
Yes.
That's why I keep telling you, one step at a time, one day at a time. It don't depend on you. The Most High always keeps a ram in the bush. The invitation was for you to save your soul. It's not gonna. You can't deliver me. You see, this is the thing. You can't deliver me. I deliver myself by keeping myself tight to this instruction alone. I'm trying to teach you how to live and how to learn how to be a brother, a sister, how to be a community, and how to build a kingdom. Having learned it myself, having done it myself, having established it within myself, for my benefit. I have my birthright. I'm trying to help you get yours. You see that? I try to tell them.
Yes.
I have my birthright. It cost me everything, but I got it.
You got it. Yes.
So now if they want their history and their birthright, they want to understand the truth and see it in the right way, not from the eyes of their slave masters.
That's right.
They better get some act right, or they're going to get some dead to rights.
Yes.
You understand me?
Their certificates.
They're going to get their certificates of death. That's what they're going to get. So if they don't get this land or get on it,
right,
they're not going to make it. I'm telling you.
And so this is the gathering.
So if they don't know what to do, they better stop buying rims.
Right. And Air Jordans.
They better give it over here and get this land for their soul, not for mine, because I'm telling you.
Right. And Birkin bags and all this kind of crazy stuff.
They better sell everything now.
That's right.
They better sell it now, because there's nothing but famine coming. They don't even know what's getting ready to happen to the soil until the snow melt. Until the springtime come and the crops don't grow. They won't know for months. But I'm telling them it already rained as it rained.
Yes, it has.
But one step at a time, one day at a time, okay?
Okay.
I just wanted you to understand.
Yes, sir.
Because when it's not talking to them, I'm not talking to them.
Right.
When it's talking to me, it's talking to me. It's talking